AASHTO T19.
It's a unit weight of coarse aggregate. We're going to be using the measure. The measure that we use is per the table in the procedure, and that's based on the size of the aggregate that we're going to be testing. It has to be calibrated at least once a year. When we calibrate it, what we're doing is getting the volume of the measure. The amount of material that we need before we start is approximately 125 to 200% of the amount required to fill the measure that we're using. There's three methods of compacting your material in your measure. The first one is rodding, and that's used for maximum nominal aggregate size of 1.5 inches or less. And then there's jigging, that's plus 1.5 inches material up to 5 inches. And then finally there's shoveling. Shoveling is only used when specified. So when you do the rodding, you do it in 3 equal lifts, 25 rods per lift. On the first lift, make sure you don't strike the bottom forcibly. On the second and third lift, you want to penetrate the lift that you're compacting, but you don't want to penetrate into the previous lift. Jigging, you're going to lift it up approximately 2 inches on one side, let it fall with a hard slapping blow, alternate to the other side 2 inches, let it hit with a hard slapping blow. You do that for 25 times on each side for a total of 50. Again, you have to alternate between sides. Shoveling, it's one continuous lift. As you discharge your material using either your shovel or your scoop, make sure you're no more than 2 inches away from the top rim of your measure as you discharge. And you want to make sure as much as possible to avoid segregation, so it's best to work around the measure as you discharge. I'll demonstrate all three, but I'm not going to do the entire procedure for all three. I'll use the first lift, I'll do the rodding. Second lift, I'll do the jigging, and I'll finish off with the third lift of shoveling. So first lift is going to be rodding. I fill it 1/3 full. Level it off with your fingers. Grab your rod, rod it 25 times. Again, on the second and third lift, make sure you don't penetrate into the previous lift. You can mark the previous lift before you start there, and that tells you how far you can rod your sample. Now I'm going to show the jigging. Now the jigging is for plus 1.5 inches material up to 5 inch, so it's going to be a larger measure. The smaller measure, it's hard to get a hard slapping blow, but I'll do the best I can. And it wouldn't be done in a pan like this. It'd be done on the hard floor. Again, it's done in 3 lifts also. Level it off, compacting by lifting one side up approximately 2 inches, let it hit with a hard slapping blow, alternate to the other side, let it hit with a hard slapping blow. Do that 25 times on each side for a total of 50 times. Finally, the shoveling. Again, it's only used when specified. Make sure when you discharge it that you don't discharge it any more than 2 inches from the top rim of the measure, and try to avoid segregation as you're doing this. You fill it to overflowing, and then you're going to level it. When you level it, consider it level. What you're looking for is for any projections above the rim, they will balance out the voids below the top of the rim. So when you do your final leveling, you can use your hand or you can use a straight edge to do it. When you do your final leveling, you're going to have to do it at eye level so that you can see projections above the top of the rim. Make sure they balance out with the voids that are below the top of the rim. Once you have it level, you're going to weigh it to the nearest 0.1 pound. Of course, you have to have the empty weight of the measure also to the nearest 0.1 pound. That's the procedure.
Please be sure to read all of the materials available in your Soils and Aggregate Technician Certification Workbook.